Ragin Nation, how's it going? This is Alex, and you're watching the DC edition of the Ragin Nation show. This is just a web series we're talking about all things matter me in the DC Cinematic Universe. This is episode number 28, and I'm sure by now you guys have seen the new trailer for Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice presented by Warner Brothers and DC Entertainment at Hall H of San Diego Comic-Con. It was awesome, it was epic, and it was everything that I wanted. We were previously presented a teaser trailer that showed us just a very little bit. And now they're showing us a little bit more. And it was just the right amount to get us, the fans, all crazy. Because I want to see more. There's going to be more trailers. After all, it is only July, and the movie comes out in March. So there's plenty of time to go. Probably like a good 9 months. So we're most likely going to get 2 more trailers. But for now, let's talk about what they have just given us in my Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice San Diego Comic-Con trailer number 1 review. We're going to take a look at the trailer shot for shot, and we're going to see what we can talk about. So let's start off with this shot right here. That is the Senator, played by Holly Hunter, and she's talking about how Superman needs to be held responsible for the damage that he caused in Metropolis during the General Zod fight in Man of Steel. Alright, so that's why there's a lot of people over here protesting. They got all these signs up that are protesting Superman's existence in Metropolis. Okay, he's looking around at the people peacefully, of course, and he wants to show them that he means no harm. Now he's here standing trial to talk about the damages that were done to the city of Metropolis, and they really want to discuss with him. You know, how can you coexist with us? This is a planet for humans, not illegal aliens. Well, okay, let's not say illegal aliens, but aliens. You know what I'm saying? Extraterrestrials. And now here's a very interesting scene. We're seeing Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, and he's running. He's running aggressively because there is a battle going on in this building. Okay. Now, when I first saw this, I thought it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me because it looked like Superman's heat vision spraying around all over the place. But turns out that this is a flashback scene, okay? So this is a scene from Man of Steel from the perspective of someone from the street, and that someone is Bruce Wayne. And he's witnessing the General Zod and Superman fight from the ground. And what's really alarming for him is that this is actually one of his buildings. This is one of the buildings from Wayne Enterprises, as you'll see later on. He's screaming here because he's probably telling someone, maybe a loved one, that he's got to get out of this building right now. Okay, maybe he's got a couple of close either loved ones or some close friends who are employees at the Wayne building, or he's telling the Wayne Enterprises I guess one of the general managers or something like that, get the hell out of there, the building's gonna come down, you know, something like that. Okay, so you see that General Zod spraying his heat vision everywhere, and then Superman escapes, and then he's running into the smoke, and then you see that he's holding a child. He's comforting her, and he's looking angrily in the sky, and that angered look was at Superman. And you know it's a Wayne Enterprise building because later on, as the camera zooms out, you see it right there, Wayne Financial. Superman essentially took out one of Bruce Wayne's buildings. And this is unacceptable for Bruce Wayne because, well, his father built the empire. And one of those buildings, or one of those pieces of his empire is, of course, Wayne Financial. So this is unacceptable. Bruce Wayne, you know, he's not very happy about that, and this establishes his hatred towards Superman. What I'm curious about is, what was Bruce Wayne doing there? I mean, and what is a Wayne Financial building doing in Metropolis? This tells me how big the company is. I mean, I'm sure it's a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, but it shows you that a Wayne Enterprise actually expands outside of Gotham City, all right? So here's the next shot. I believe that's Bruce Wayne. He's heading towards a really run-down and destroyed Wayne Manor. But the next shot shows us Wayne. I guess this is could be the new version of the Batcave. Okay, because if you look in the distance, you see that somewhere in the far right is looks like a costume, and it looks like his weapons over in the back. It's like the Bat Lab or something. So none of this stuff would have been kept out in the open, you know, on ground level. This must be somewhere underground where the new version of the Batcave is. All right, the Zack Snyder version of the Batcave. So over here you see Bruce Wayne looking at a newspaper, and it says, "You let your family die," and it's written in like crayon, red crayon. Over here it says Wayne Tower devastated, dozens killed, and yeah, the crayon writing is "You let your family die." And who else would write something like that in red crayon? That would be the Joker. So this is the nod to the Joker, which suggests that the Joker is around. All right, his arch nemesis is around during the time of Dawn of Justice. Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, and we're gonna see him later on in Suicide Squad. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. The Joker is taunting him, right? So he's got a couple things to deal with. He's got to deal with emotional issues, right? With the death of his parents. He's got to deal with an arch nemesis. That would be Joker. And there's no word on if he's going to make an appearance in Dawn of Justice, but he's also got to deal with the current problem, which is Superman. That's a problem. Now here you see him training, getting ready to be Batman, and then he's looking at his his costume, Frank Miller style. Love the look of it, and he's looking at it as if, like, you know, you can tell a lot through his eyes. All right, you can tell that maybe he hasn't been Batman for a very, very long time. So you know what? It's time to put on the cape, put on the cowl, because this is a time where it's not necessarily that the city needs him, but he wants to deal with a personal issue. Now here's Alfred Pennyworth, played by Jeremy Irons. We're going to get a new version of Alfred, the classic character, the butler of Bruce Wayne. And, Alfred Pennyworth has always been the voice of reason. He knows what's going on. He understands his Bruce Wayne's personality and his character. And he's the one that keeps Bruce Wayne grounded. All right? He brings him back to reality. And he tells him that, you might want to rethink what you're about to do. All right? Here we have a shot of some cops shining a flashlight, and what we see is one of Batman's batarangs. So there was a fight going on here, and it happens to be with I guess a robber or some kind of a mugger or something. I don't know, or some kind of thug. And you see that there's a close-up shot of the batarang making an imprint on his on his chest, and I'm just thinking that, to make an imprint like that, you had to have pressed the batarang right on someone's chest. So maybe he did that, and that was just a symbol to show that, hey, the Batman is back. He's back, and he's out of hiding, and he's back. All right. So there's some shots of some bats here. It's probably the Batcave. Now here is Lawrence Fishburne playing. Is it Perry White? You know what? It seems like in this scene, his character is playing like a J. Jonah Jameson character, like in Spider-Man, and Clark Kent is playing. It has the kind of Peter Parker role going on, where Clark Kent wants to spread the truth about a vigilante, but J. Jonah Jameson wants him to just do his job. It's kind of like how Peter Parker wants to tell people that, Spider-Man's a good guy, but J. Jonah Jameson keeps on telling people that, no, he's the bad guy. So we're getting that dynamic over here. Clark Kent looks quite frustrated. Now here's a scene where Lois Lane, played by Amy Adams, is having a little scene of dialogue with the Man of Steel himself. That's a really cool shot of the logo. You can see all the texture on his costume, so that's pretty cool. Now here's something that's going on. Excuse me, have a bit of a runny nose, allergies. Anyways. What's going on right here is that there's a flood, a pretty epic flood. I mean, this is a flood that's pretty bad because it's reaching up to the rooftops of these houses, and they put a big S symbol because they want to put like a distress call to Superman, and they need Superman to save the family. And if you look around, you see a lot of families out there on the rooftops. So I'm wondering how Superman's going to deal with this. He's got to save all those families. And then here's a scene where Superman is talking to his mom, Martha Kent, and Martha Kent says something along the lines of, people hate what they don't understand. So that's, I guess, there to address how the people, who want Superman to go home for all the damage he caused. And then now here's a scene of him redeeming himself. He's rescuing someone from a burning building. You see firemen there. You also see something very, very, that I'm very curious about. I still don't understand this scene. Maybe some of the hardcore Superman fans can tell me something about this. But you see a scene where Superman's surrounded by these worshippers. Are they his worshippers? They look like they worship him as a god. But what's up with the face paint? What's up with the skeleton face? I'm not sure what's that all about. Now here's a scene where he also redeems himself as a hero, and that is he saves or rescues this the space shuttle or an astronaut from an explosion. That was somehow what happened. Okay, maybe it was an act of terrorism, or maybe it just a malfunction. But here's Superman rescuing this spacecraft from total destruction. And now here's where it gets interesting. We have the senator being led into a room by this Asian lady, and then she's talking to Jesse Eisenberg, who plays Lex Luthor. And what Lex Luthor said is something about, the biggest lie is the devil's from hell, but actually the devil comes from the sky. And obviously he's referring to Superman. He's antagonizing Superman. And here's this little scene where it's very, very fascinating, where Jesse Eisenberg, or rather Lex Luthor and Man of Steel himself, Superman, make contact. And he puts his hands on him. And then, Superman, he can't kill a human, right? But he's angry. Look at that face. Look at that face of anger. So it shows that he obviously does not agree with Jesse Eisenberg, or rather Lex Luthor's perspective and his point of views, his beliefs. But he's going to deal with it, but he's having a hard time dealing with it emotionally. There's the Asian lady again. I guess she's Lex Luthor's assistant, okay? And now here's something interesting. That's USAMRIID, and it says head there. I don't exactly know what that means, but there's something very, 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 very important there. Something very, very significant is in there. And when I first saw the trailer, I was wondering, is that kryptonite they got in there? But it's something else that is even more crazier. That's General Zod's body. That's General Zod's dead body after Superman took him out by breaking his neck in Man of Steel, and they plan to do something with his body. Okay, Lex Luthor recovers his body, and who knows what they're going to do with it. Now here's another very, very interesting shot. That's Bruce Wayne in his Wayne Manor, or Batcave. I guess it's his Batcave because you see all the bat weapons there. You see the Batman costume there, but you also see another costume. And this isn't the Bat costume, otherwise there would be a cowl on it. It's got a hint of red, rusty red. And if you take a good look at it in this close-up shot, it says, haha, joke's on you, Batman. Now, this is the costume of Robin, okay? Look it closely, you see a gold R on the chest. And obviously the rusty red, that's a more Zack Snyder take on what Robin's costume would have looked like. But this suggests that Joker killed Robin, just like in the comics. If you don't already know, in the comics, Joker killed a version of Robin. That would be the Jason Todd version of Robin. There's lots of versions of Robin. And he killed him with a crowbar. Now, what's very interesting is that this is a weapon that I don't recognize. It shows the costume holding a weapon, like a harpoon-style weapon. I don't recognize anything like this in the comics. He never used a weapon like this, as far as I know. But that's something that is very, very peculiar. Now, here's our first shot of Diana Prince. Okay? Wonder Woman as Diana Prince, like in her human form. We see a close-up with Bruce Wayne talking to possibly, is that Alfred or Henry Cavill? I mean Clark Kent. I don't know. I just see glasses. Could be Could be Alfred Pennyworth. Now, here's Superman, and these 4 Superman minions bowing down to him. These are the worshippers. They have like little S logos on their shoulders, these S shoulder patches. So they worship him, but I'm sure Superman did not ask for any of this. All right, so he's got people who are against him, and then he has his worshippers. Okay, so I believe these are his loyal worshippers, and they will, they stand for him. But I'm positive that Superman does not want any of this. I mean, why would he need help, right? Now, this is where it gets interesting. Batman, he unveils the bat signal. Okay, now what's cool is that he's in his bat armor. From some blogs, I heard it being called the Bat Mecha or Mecha Bat or something. But anyways, it's his bat armor, and according to Zack Snyder, he uses it for self-preservation. It's to protect him from Superman's heavy blows, right? He shines the bat signal in the air, and obviously it's to call out to Superman. He wants to call him out. Get your ass over here. We're going to fight it out. Now, here's another cool scene, or rather interesting scene. I don't know what's going on here, but all I'm thinking is that, look, Jason Momoa is supposed to appear in Dawn of Justice, Batman vs. Superman. So this is a scene in the water. So I'm just thinking that either they're trying to recover some kryptonite that landed in the ground, or they're recovering something that has to do with Aquaman's existence on Earth. All right, and this scene is also interesting. What's up with all these horses? Could this be a flashback scene? I don't know. Could it be some kind of? I have no idea. I cannot even guess what that could represent. Now this just looks like. I mean, if you look at the cars in the background, very, very old cars, alleyway, smoky, a mugging is about to take place. This is a flashback. We've seen this flashback many times, but Zack Snyder wants to give us that flashback, so be it. Thomas Wayne, who looks like he is being played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I think. It's like a Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Clive Owen hybrid, okay? He's about to be mugged and shot and murdered, and gun goes off. There's young Bruce Wayne, and obviously it's a flashback scene. We get the funeral there. This is just a little bit of a scene which is to show that Batman is still dealing with, or Bruce Wayne is still dealing with his emotional issues. Now here's the Batwing. Now what's very, very interesting is that what's up with all this destruction, okay? Obviously, there's going to be a big bad villain, okay? Batman or Superman, they're not just going to fight the entire film, okay? So there's going to be a big bad villain who's causing all this damage. So I'm not sure who it is, but I can guess. This must be a scene during that protest that we saw earlier in the trailer. But the fact that Lois Lane is showing a little bit of distress means that something went down during this little supposedly peaceful protest. Something went down. Everybody is ducking, okay, in that same scene. So I think somebody challenged them to a duel or something. I don't know. But the fact is that what turned out to be a peaceful protest ended up in pandemonium. I don't know. Here's Bruce Wayne looking cool in a suit. And then followed by a shot of Diana Prince, Gal Gadot. And right after that shot is Wonder Woman. And she's looking pretty angry. She's fighting somebody. And if you pay attention to the background, there's some wreckage there. It looks like it could be one of Batman's vehicles. I don't know if it's the Batwing or the Batmobile, but it looks like some wreckage in the background from one of Bruce Wayne's vehicles. So she's fighting somebody. She's not fighting Batman. She's not fighting. Maybe she is fighting Batman. I don't know. But she's fighting somebody, and it's something that causes her to put her bracelets together, her gold bracelets together, and the next scene that follows is this huge blast. Okay, so man, there is some huge amount of damage being caused, and maybe it's for protection. I don't know. Now, this trailer is full of very, very questionable scenes. By questionable, I mean scenes that really, really raise questions, okay? And that is, we are seeing a desert version of Batman right over here. It shows him in cargo pants. He's got the cowl, and he's got like a utility jacket on, and he's in some kind of like desert wasteland. I don't know, some kind of desert land that's outside of the city. He's got goggles on, and if you didn't read the comics, this is straight out of the comic books. This is straight out of I believe it's Red Sun, where he comes out as Russian Batman. Okay, and this is where he well, check out this next scene, right? You see these Superman worshippers. They're blasting around with G36s, and I'm not sure who they're blasting. You can tell that they are the Superman worshippers because they have the S logo. And the next thing you know, they're fighting Batman, and which makes a little bit of sense because if they worship Superman, they're obviously going to go up against Batman, and he's Batman. He is, he's fighting for survival, but he's also fighting with anger. Okay, because it looks like he breaks this guy's neck, so he's really out there to cause some damage. Okay. Moving on, we have of course, a scene with the Batmobile driving through some explosion, and Batman fighting a bunch of bad guys in that same warehouse that he's driving through. I'm assuming that this takes place where the Batmobile is like some warehouse area, and here's Jeremy Irons as Alfred Pennyworth once again talking about, I don't think that he's the enemy. All right, so he's trying to tell Bruce Wayne that once again, voice of reason, telling him that be careful with your choices, what you decide to do. Maybe what you're doing is all just emotional rage, and maybe you should rethink what you're doing because he might not be the enemy. Now here's something interesting. Who is in a motorcycle going to LexCorp? LexCorp is on fire right now. Who could be going to LexCorp? Could it be Jesse Eisenberg in a very panicked attempt to get something from LexCorp? I mean, he could be making his way to LexCorp because he wants to recover something before the whole building goes down. And this is a very interesting scene because the next shot looks like it's in a hospital. I don't know why, but I think it's in a hospital because you see like a stretcher, like a gurney, and you see a lot of bullets. So somebody was shooting, like something went down. Okay, a firefight went down, and there's a basketball there. I don't know why there's a basketball there, but there is one. But a lot of bullets were flying in this scene, and he's walking past them like he's being all cool, and it's possible that he's gonna go there to recover kryptonite. That's where they're keeping the kryptonite, in LexCorp. All right. Now here's where it really goes down. This is the last. We're getting to the last 45 seconds of the trailer where we reference the title, Batman vs Superman. Okay, and this is where it goes down. And Batman's got his armor on. He jumps up in the air and he slams right down on Superman. I'm just curious to know how Batman was able to slam him down, and he crushes him going through the rooftop into the ground. So that's pretty intense. I mean, it looks like they're pretty evenly matched, especially with Batman and his armor. It's probably laced with little traces of kryptonite or something, because Superman does have a weakness, right? Now, this is a pretty good shot of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. She got her armor on, she got the shield, she got the sword, and you know what? While I still do think that it was a miscast with Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, she looks good, but she doesn't look the part, okay? She looks good in the costume, but by good, I mean, like, she looks visually appealing, but she doesn't look like Wonder Woman. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? That's what they're going with, and I'm still curious to know who she's going up against. Could be Doomsday. I mean, look at all this destruction. I mean, after all, Lex Luthor recovered the body of Zod. He's got access to kryptonite. He's probably going to make Doomsday out of the two. And like, if you look around at all this destruction that's going on, who caused all that? Are you trying to tell me that Batman and Superman caused all this destruction? I mean, Superman is angry here. He's got his heat vision about to blast. And who is he about to blast? And based on the trailer, it looks like he's about to blast Batman. I mean, Superman must be so angry at Batman that he wants to kill him using his heat vision, unless he's turned down his heat vision, toned it down a little bit so that it's not on lethal. All right, he set phasers to stun. He didn't set phasers to obliterate. But look at this classic shot right here. This is a classic shot, straight out of The Dark Knight Returns, okay? Frank Miller style. This is such a beautiful shot. Batman in the classic pose, right on the cover of the comic book. And then, next thing you know is he shoots his grappling hook, so that he can evade being blasted by this intense heat vision ray from Superman. Maybe that's from Superman, maybe that's from Doomsday. I don't know, but it makes it look like... They cut the trailer to make it look like it's from Superman. And now here's Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. And here's Superman looking angry. I don't know what he's about to do, but it looks like he's about to huff and puff and blow something to the Ice Age. And finally, Batman comes crashing down through a warehouse window. And the last shot, one of the last shot is Jesse Eisenberg going, "The red capes are coming. The red capes are coming." Now, this is a play on U.S. history, American history. And I believe it refers to the red coats are coming. The red coats are coming. And if he says red cape, then it could be referring to Superman. But because of the fact that he said red capes, okay, that's referring to the red coats. That's a play on the red coats, and which was, of course, referencing the American Revolution. So there's a revolution going on. I believe that he means that there's a revolution going on, or he's referring to those Superman minions. Maybe they're called red capes. I don't know. Maybe that's the name that he called the Superman minions. You know, the guys who are loyal to Superman. Maybe those guys are called the red capes. I don't know. Now, this is where it gets epic. Superman walking towards a busted Batmobile. He rips the doors open, revealing Batman, who's not wearing his armored version of himself. He's not wearing his self-preservation suit. He's just wearing his classic Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns Batman costume. And Batman, he's sitting down, but then he stands up to him, which is such a classic shot. And who knows what's going to happen next, okay? Maybe they just talk, or maybe they have a fist fight, which would kind of be pointless. But you know what? This stare down is epic. And that's it. That is it for Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. It was a great trailer, all right? I felt that it didn't need to give anything away. This is just the first trailer. We're going to see trailer 2, we're going to see trailer 3, and then there's probably going to be another final trailer. This movie needs to be a long movie. It needs to be 2.5 hours long. You cannot fit all that material in 2 hours, okay? There's Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Lex Luthor, Aquaman, The Flash. Is The Flash going to show up? I don't know, but maybe The Flash is going to show up. But definitely Cyborg is in there. And Aquaman, and maybe a couple cameos from other characters of the Justice League. And, you know, there's going to be a big bad guy. Who's going to be the big bad villain? I'm going to assume it's Doomsday because of all the hints. So, very, very awesome. Maybe there's going to be a little bit of flashback with the Joker in it. So, there's a lot of material to cover. And based on what I've seen on this trailer, it's going to be epic, and there's a lot of action. Okay, and there's going to be a lot of destruction. It's Zack Snyder style. I mean, they're going to blow things up like in epic proportions. It's going to be Man of Steel all over again when it comes to the destruction. And you know what? That's Zack Snyder's vision. You cannot have a character like Superman, a godlike character, exist while, you know, there's not going to be collateral damage. There will be collateral damage. This is not the Avengers. This is not Marvel. This is Zack Snyder and his DC Cinematic Universe, which is serious in tone. It's more intense. It's a little bit more edgier. It's not as fun. It's more like there's more stakes involved. There's more collateral damage, and this is what that trailer gives us. So there you have it. I'm really happy with what I saw. I can't wait to see another one, and this is going to be a big movie. I mean, a lot of people said that Avengers is going to be big. Avengers Age of Ultron is going to be big, and it was, right? But we're talking about the two most iconic heroes in in the DC comic book universe, that's Batman and Superman, there's nothing bigger than these guys. I mean, unless you're going to compare them with something from Marvel, but in the DC universe, there's nothing bigger than Batman and Superman, okay? And these two iconic characters are coming together in a single movie. It's a great time to be alive. Anyways, that's all I gotta say in this video. What do you guys think about anything I've talked about? And what do you guys think about the trailer? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. Stay tuned for more videos. We're gonna do a recap on all the stuff that has been talked about at San Diego Comic-Con, including a lot of Marvel stuff from 20th Century Fox. And that's all I gotta say in this video. I'll see you next time. Peace.